Bullseye's back, Matt Murdock's dead, and Thunderbolts might actually be good. I'm your host, Nick.
And I'm Antony.
And welcome to Heroes and Hype. All right, so he might not actually be dead, but he might.
No.
He might. You never know. No, probably not. You never know.
I saw pictures of season 2.
Shut up.
Unless he's
Well,
Ghost Rider.
no, it's not. It's not.
Daredevil turns into Ghost.
That would be interesting. No, it's more of he's been shot. He's gonna be at the brink of death, maybe even die, and then he'll be born again.
I see what you did there.
You get what I did?
Also,
What?
well, we'll talk about it in the episode.
We're in the episode.
about to
Welcome to the episode.
I was going to get ahead of myself. Right, let's start.
What?
From the
He's
beginning.
skipping ahead to the actual.
Let's do a Julie
to the review.
Andrews.
A Julie Andrews?
Let's start at the very beginning.
Oh, damn it. Anyway, on this week's show, we are talking reactions to the Thunderbolts screen test that was out last week. So we'll talk about that. We are talking, we're breaking down the full episode of Daredevil Born Again, episode 8. We're then going to be listening to all your thoughts and theories in this week's Pod Fans Assemble. If you want to skip ahead to the Daredevil review or to Pod Fans Assemble, we have put timestamps in the description for you, as always.
Yeah.
Let's talk Thunderbolts.
Okay.
We're excited for Thunderbolts anyway, aren't we?
Yeah.
It's got to be good, hasn't it?
I think so.
It's got to be good. Well, a little bit positive news is that there's been a screen test this week. You never know whether these are real though, do you?
No, I know.
Whether someone's like, oh, I've seen Thunderbolts, I promise. So there's a few things that it might all be crap. You never know. A few things that have come out. So a few comments from people who've seen the screen test say that if you're feeling jaded by the cape shit genre, because they're all feeling the same, I would check this one out because it's not that type of thing. Do you know what cape shit means?
Like
standard paint by numbers superhero movie. It's not that, which is what Marvel wasn't, to be fair.
No.
It says the journey it takes the characters on is actually interesting. The team dynamic is great, not unlike Guardians of the Galaxy, which I think we sort of put together anyway.
We kind of knew that it would, because of the people that are in it.
Yeah.
It doesn't surprise me that they'd have great
relationships. It's going to be pure, not pure comedy.
No.
But it's going to have that. It's got to have a sense of comedy.
Yeah.
When you think about the actual characters, you've got Red Guardian is just going to be the comic relief.
Yeah.
All the way
through.
But I think they can all do a bit of comedy.
Yeah.
The only one I think who...
Well, even Yelena.
Yelena's 100% comedy, isn't she? I suppose.
She is.
Well, not, but... Yeah.
She's dark and twisty, but she's funny.
Twisty.
Yeah.
Dark and twisty.
Yeah.
Sound okay, yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
No, I know what you mean, yeah.
Yeah.
Ish.
Anyway, but yeah. Wow.
I do, ish. I don't know what twisty means. The only people who I wouldn't say are funny is Ghost. But then she might be. We've just not really seen much of her. But I don't think that's the... She's going to... What do you mean? She's Ghost. No, maybe. I feel like she'll be the...
We haven't seen much of her. Hey!
She'll be the Gamora of the group.
Okay.
Yeah, the one trying to keep them sensible and stuff like that.
Stop being stupid.
And then Taskmaster's going to be dead in the first
10 minutes.
Yeah. So, she's not going to be in it much anyway. Says the way Sentry / the Void is executed into the story is really fascinating.
Okay.
So again, they've tried it's out there now. There's, I think, Hasbro toys of him are out there.
Yeah, kind of spoiled it, didn't it?
It's gonna look like he does in the comic pretty much, which is good. It's not a bad thing. We know he's obviously not going to die. We're not going to have the Marvel Villa problem. Spoilers, he's in Doomsday. And again, it says the audience I was with seemed to love it and couldn't stop talking about it highly after the screening. This is gonna be it.
Okay.
I feel like Captain America 4 was kind of like
started to forge the way back into the right path.
Yeah.
And this is going to be that turning point.
Yeah, I mean, Daredevil's laying the groundwork.
Yeah.
I know it's Marvel TV and it's not Marvel movies, but Daredevil is definitely sort of setting it up for a more adult, back to a bit more gritty, not silly comic booky.
Yeah.
Which again isn't necessarily out of place in everything, but it's not what you need in Daredevil, obviously. But yeah, I'm excited. We will be covering it on the show. It's out May the 1st in the UK, May the 2nd in where is it? The USA.
Yeah.
We're not watching it till Friday though, until the 2nd, because Antony's got stuff on.
A wedding.
Oh, is it a wedding?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you were doing rehearsals.
No, I've got a wedding. Oh, I need to tell them about that. I literally text her there's like today to say, oh, I can't do the 22nd.
Yeah, yeah.
And I've completely forgotten about the wedding. Then I'm
now
at,
you can't.
okay,
do the first. A wedding on a Thursday.
Yeah.
Where is it? Local?
Chester.
Oh, okay, that's all right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that is local to us.
John said to me, he was like, who has a wedding on a Thursday?
I did think that.
And I said, people who can't afford a wedding on a Saturday.
I mean, yeah.
Am I wrong?
No, not at all. That's it.
Anyway.
That's us for news. It's been a bit of a slow news.
It has been a bit of a slow news
It was all
week.
last week. It was the Superman teaser, which was CinemaCon, which we talked
Yeah.
about. There was a Fantastic Four teaser as well, but it's still not leaked. See Silver Surfer in it.
Oh, okay.
Loads of footage of Silver Surfer. We've just said there's no news. And it's kind of, right, we were going to go into Daredevil. I haven't even written this down, but I want to talk about it. So, the Daredevil footage, not Daredevil, freaking hell. The Fantastic Four footage that went out at CinemaCon, it was basically all just extended bits and pieces of what we've already seen.
Right.
We haven't seen a full Galactus, but more like little clips and snippets of it.
Yeah.
We've seen loads of Silver Surfer apparently.
Oh,
Looks
okay.
amazing. From what I've
Really?
seen, yeah, or from what I've heard even. The one thing that's missing, there's still no look at Reed's powers.
Oh, yeah.
So we've had our full trailer. There was I'm sure there was some sort of private trailer shown before the trailer that we saw.
Right.
And now there's been this. And still no one's seen Reed's powers. Does he have powers?
I was going to say, why wouldn't he? But if it's...
I don't know.
I don't know.
The only two reasons I can think that they wouldn't show us his powers is either struggling with the CG on how to make it look half decent, and they don't want to put out unfinished CGI on something that's potentially going to look really, really stupid, to be fair, or he's not got any powers.
Hmm.
Would you be upset if he didn't have powers? If they worked it well into the story.
If they worked it well into the story, then it wouldn't be the end of the world for me.
Okay.
But at the same time...
Do you think it's more likely, though, that they've just don't want to show us the CG yet?
Maybe. I don't know.
It's weird, though, isn't it?
It is weird.
It's a weird setup how they've not shown it, to us, but we'll see. It's not long. July?
Yeah.
July. Week before Superman, week after Superman, and Jurassic Park.
Something around...
Jurassic Park, Fantastic Four, Superman.
Can't wait.
Busy.
It's
Anyway,
be a good month.
let's do Daredevil.
Okay.
Daredevil? That came out
The
really...
Daredevil.
Daredevil, episode 8, Isle of something. I can't remember. I haven't written down the title. It'll be in the description, though. So, right, we're going to break down the whole episode. There was so much going on.
So much happening.
I said this to you. Normally, we don't break down the whole episode in full. We sort of like pick the bits that we like.
Yeah.
There was literally, it was intense all the way through. There was nothing I feel like I can't talk about or I can see in this review.
Yeah.
It's just, it was dead intense. Before we break it down, though, good, bad, okay?
Amazing.
Yeah, I thought it was good.
Yeah, my favourite episode so far.
Was it really?
Yeah, 100%. Just because I really felt like tension was building all the way through it.
Yeah.
And I was like, every scene I was going, this is good, this is good.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there was nothing where I was going, okay, we're just a bit of filler here or anything like that. Like, everything was making me go,
on
what's
edge.
coming?
Yeah.
Like, and I really felt that build up.
I was just, I don't think it helps that I watch it like 5:30, 6 o'clock in the morning.
I think for me, I watched
so
it at 6:30
stressed
this morning. So I was kind of just still in bed.
All the way, literally all the way
watching
through, just like tense, like far too tired to be watching something like that. Anyway, let's break it down. Let's go back to the start. So we catch up with
Bullseye,
who we've not seen since episode 1, I think.
No, we haven't.
No. He is still in prison.
Yeah.
And the whole gist of the opening is he's
getting moved to Gem Pop.
Yeah, so he's basically been segregated from everybody else for either his own safety
or theirs,
to be fair. Yeah. And he's basically getting dragged out and thrown into Gem Pop. Purely, I assume, for the purposes of him to be murdered.
Yes.
Yeah. I'm guessing when he's in Gem Pop, he's got those things over his hands so he can't beat anybody up unless he's in his cell. We find out who... I'm not 100% convinced who we find out puts him in Gem Pop is the person who puts him in Gem Pop.
They said it was Fisk, didn't they?
They said, okay, yeah, we'll jump out. We'll jump.
Oh, sorry.
No, we are. It's fine. It isn't. It's hard to talk about without talking about it.
Yeah.
They say it's Fisk,
Yeah.
I mean, it is a Fisk, but surely it's Vanessa rather.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
It's Vanessa and not
because
Wilson.
it's been put it's put across to us that it's the mayor who's done it.
Yeah.
But I mean, is it? Maybe it was.
Maybe.
Maybe it is. You don't know. Maybe he's protecting Vanessa because he knows what she's done. But we'll get to that. I loved the very start. It starts with the blue rose.
Yeah.
And it keeps like shifting the entire color palette of the scenes to like a blue hue over it every time he sort of like locks in like mentally.
Yeah.
I assume it's because in the comics his costume's blue and it's
right.
like
Okay.
Back to proper Bullseye taking over.
Yeah.
But I loved it, and the fact that we kept getting that every time it was like Bullseye's concentrating, or not even concentrating, just Bullseye being Bullseye. Being Bullseye basically.
Yeah.
It was locking in. Yeah. We go to we have the credits at that stage, and then we get the Fisks. So happy Fisks.
Yeah.
Yes. Are you buying it?
I don't know.
I'm not buying it at all.
Are you not?
No. So we find out what we talked about last week was it was kind of left open ended as to whether Vanessa had sent Luca to kill Fisk.
Yeah.
Or whether it was all a setup by Vanessa and Fisk to murder Luca.
Yeah.
And we find out that it's basically the latter. So Luca's been running his mouth. Luca's been trying to oppose Fisk, not respecting Fisk. Yeah. So the pair of them decide to take him out, basically. Yeah. And now they're all happily married, lovey-dovey.
Yeah.
Very lovey-dovey.
Very.
I'm just not buying it at all.
No.
No. I'm not buying it. I think there's a few bits that sort of make me lean towards it. I think he's manipulating the entire situation.
Do you reckon?
Yeah, I think he's known that she was against him to a degree, and that he's lost her. Yeah, and he's working his way to get her back by manipulating it all.
Yeah,
but I don't think he wants her back to get her back.
Right.
I still think he wants her back as either a bit of revenge.
Yeah.
For cheating on him and taking over his empire, and also so that he's a martyr and he's got a scapegoat. Yeah. So that when everything goes tits up, he can throw her under the bus.
Yeah.
I might be wrong, but we've said that from the first episode, and I just think I'm not buying.
Yeah.
I'm not buying it at all. Maybe I'm massively wrong, but yeah, we'll see, won't we? We go to Matt's apartment. It's kind of like to and fro, isn't it, between Matt and the Fisks? Yeah. So we get Matt and Heather. So again, this is something we talked about last week, whether Heather at that stage was onto Matt being Daredevil. Yeah. She's not at all.
She's not.
How?
I don't know.
How on earth is she not?
I mean, she knows there's something up.
Yeah, no, but I don't think she's twigging on in the slightest.
Well,
the fact that he's Daredevil.
I thought we were going to get the whole leg thing. You know, the slash on his leg.
Yeah.
And nothing.
There was nothing. No, and that was another thing that they made quite prominent in the last episode. That happened so that they could draw back on it. Oh, so we thought. I do wonder whether is some of this the old show and the new show.
That's what I was wondering.
Yeah, and that's why it's not. I mean, continuity is not an issue in this or anything like that. But I wonder what. Yeah, I do feel like you can feel like a shift in tone. Yeah, different scenes. Yeah, different episodes, especially with episode 5 with the bank robbery. Yeah, it's just 100% a different show. Yeah, kind of set within this one. She's kind of against Daredevil as well, isn't she? Yeah, Heather. So she's not. So she's basically.
And he's getting so defensive.
I know, but I kind of agree with him.
No, I agree with him.
He's got like a proper ego now. It's like, I killed music. He didn't save me. I saved myself. I killed him. And I know she did. Yeah. But she didn't. If Daredevil hadn't come in, then
she'd have been dead.
She'd have been well dead.
Yeah.
But even then, he's like, well, you might have done it, but he still came to save you. His intention was to save you. Yeah. She's like, no, it wasn't. His intention was just to.
But I wonder whether he is questioning that.
What do you mean?
Was he there to save her, or was he there to get his revenge?
Yeah, okay, I get what you mean.
So I think that I think he's been talking himself into why he's dressing as Daredevil again and doing it. Yeah. And I think she's just put that doubt back in his mind again.
As to what the reason is.
Yeah.
I get what you mean.
And that she's making him go, hang on, is it actually for revenge rather than for...
No, I don't necessarily think that. I mean, he's not become Daredevil again purely
No.
to go and rescue Heather.
No.
But I think he's becoming Daredevil again for the right reasons.
Yeah.
Rather than we said from the start, it's not like he's becoming Daredevil. I suppose it's more that Daredevil's in there and he can't sort of tie him down anymore.
But it's also not a small decision, so I think we just keep getting that thing back there. Every time he tries to swing one way, there's just that little niggle somewhere that there's.
Yeah.
You know,
I know what you mean.
The opposing reason.
Yeah. Should he be doing it? Shouldn't he be doing it? That sort of thing. And she has a proper pop at him as well, doesn't she? Yeah. She says the pair of them are just underdeveloped boys hiding behind masks. Yeah. And I think that's probably made him think, oh, am I just an underdeveloped boy hiding behind a mask? But, I mean, I don't know. It surprises me. She's like completely on the Mayor Fisk train now, isn't she?
Yeah.
Like proper anti-vigilante. How on earth is she though I mean, I get Muse tried to murder her.
Yeah.
But Daredevil's clearly come in and rescued her, and she knows.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, she knows deep down he was there to save her. They're having like a bit of not an argument, but like a disagreement, and then the door knocks.
Yeah.
And it's Fisk's right-hand man, Buck.
Yeah.
With a invitation to the black and white ball, wasn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, to an invite.
Was it black and white?
Yeah, supposed to be, yeah. But Vanessa wore red.
Okay.
Everybody else is in black and white. But Vanessa's first lady in New York, isn't it? So she can get away with it.
Yeah.
Plus, we obviously got them in white and red, but I feel like I've seen a couple of comments on it that it's kind of like the angel and the devil on your shoulder.
Yeah.
Both of them. So Fisk is weirdly Fisk is the angel.
Yeah.
And then she's the devil. But yeah, anyway, we'll get to that. We'll get to that in a minute. So Buck goes in. I was questioning straight away. That's Matt's apartment.
Yeah.
So this is where Matt starts to piece together the fact that he doesn't get it instantly. He's kind of onto it, but
yeah,
the Fisks are having therapy with Heather, and he's starting to piece that together until the very end of the episode. He kind of twigs onto it fully.
Yeah.
How long has Fisk been aware that Heather and Matt are together?
Well, that's what I was wondering.
Because there was there was nothing there going, oh, this is the moment he found out.
Yeah.
Has he just been aware of it the whole time?
But then part of me wondered whether that moment happened in the ballroom.
Do you reckon?
Because when Matt walked in and there was that slow motion bit where Fisk looks up and sees him and then you can just see him clock him.
Yeah, but so maybe you're thinking maybe Fisk didn't know that she lived there and it's just Bucks found out.
Maybe.
Or they didn't know that was Matt's apartment and they just know there's an apartment address.
Or that was in one of the episodes that was scrapped.
Yeah, maybe. Continuity.
Yeah.
Maybe we have got some continuity issues. But yeah, it threw me a little bit.
I did think they would make more of it than they have done.
I thought there was going to be some sort of shock on Buck's face as if to be like, oh my God.
Yeah.
Matt Murdock's here. Because does Matt know? No, he doesn't know Matt's Daredevil.
But they don't know.
They don't know. We know they know. He doesn't know, does he?
I don't think so, no.
No, the Fisks know.
Yeah.
And Vanessa knows, as we now know at the end of the episode.
Yeah.
So maybe that's it. You could find, maybe it is just that Fisk's told Buck to go and find her.
Yeah.
He's found out that she's staying at her boyfriend's house.
Yeah.
Her boyfriend is Matt Murdock. But because he doesn't know the link between Matt and Daredevil, he's not thought, I better tell the boss.
He's just
the boyfriend, basically.
Annoying me.
Yeah, basically, just an absolute pain in the arse. But yeah,
okay.
so that's where they're going with that. So she invites Matt to come with her.
Yeah,
he's kind of dead against it, and that's when he's starting to realize, maybe not realize, but putting two and two together that she's not in a good position here.
No,
it's dangerous, basically.
Yeah.
Because she's obviously got no idea, but then at the same time, she seems to like Mayor Fisk.
Yeah,
seems to be on board with it. So at the same time, Fisk takes Vanessa to Red Hook, or wherever he's been keeping Adam, basically. He takes her down. This is where she first discovers that Adam is being kept prisoner. And Fisk, again, this just felt like manipulation.
Yeah.
So Fisk basically says to her, I'm getting better, but I'm still the old me, but I'm a slightly better version than the old me.
Yeah.
So because he's slept with you, I can't not do anything.
But I haven't killed him.
I've beat him to a pulp,
lately,
probably, but I've not murdered him.
Yeah.
And this is me
Doing better.
Doing better, yeah. On the road to recovery, 12 steps. This is me getting better and coming to you and saying, look, this is what I've done, sort of thing. Yeah. And he gives her the option of the key to let Adam go.
Yeah.
Or the gun.
Yeah.
And she chooses to murder Adam.
Yeah.
And get it all over with. It's 100% a manipulation.
Yeah.
That it's her.
Okay.
It's him, I think, giving her. He's obviously given her the option, but I feel like he's trying to push her one way, but make her think she's got the choice.
Yeah.
Did it surprise you when she just shot him in the face?
A little bit.
Did it?
That last shot to the head just got.
No, I thought that as well. It's like a couple of shots to the body, and his head just went ping like that.
And I was like, damn,
brutal.
Yeah, very.
What a weird way to be like, I love you and I forgive you. I'm just gonna murder this fella.
Poor Antony didn't do well in this series.
He didn't do well at all. No, to be fair,
he was in a cage. He got beaten up, and then
the very first thing I thought when he got shot in the head was, he's not really done anything.
No,
he's just slept with this woman probably once. Yeah, and now he's found himself locked in a dungeon. Yeah, for however many weeks and got shot in the head by the woman that he slept with.
Yeah.
Just shows you, doesn't it? Don't sleep with married women, people. Just in case their husbands are a gangster and a mayor.
Yeah.
So we go back to Matt. Matt goes to the office, meets with Kirsten, and that is when she tells him that Poindexter has been put into Gen Pop.
Yeah.
He's loving it. He's like, can we go and watch? Because he's going to get his head kicked in, basically.
Yeah.
And then she tells him that he's requested to speak to Matt.
Yes.
And from memory, he's just not with it. He's not agreeing to it at all, is he, at that stage?
No.
He's just like, no, there's no way I'm going.
Yeah.
Do we then find... she tells him then, doesn't she? I'm trying to put this together. I've only watched it once. She tells him then that it was Mayor Fisk's office who moved him into Gen Pop. And that's probably when Matt's head starts going, why would Fisk move him into Gen Pop and not keep him safe, basically? Yeah. We go back to Fisk. So Fisk is buzzing because the papers, off the back of BB being pressured by Daniel, are basically saying that the anti-vigilante task force is
successful.
Massively successful.
Yeah.
Even though they are super violent.
Yeah.
And beating people up.
Yeah.
And the press have got hold of that. But the fact that they're getting stuff done, I assume, means that people are okay with it.
Yeah.
And he's absolutely made up with it. So made up to the point where he praises Daniel and he promotes him to deputy mayor for communications.
Yeah.
At which point, Sheila is
furious. Yeah.
Livid.
Yeah.
What's going on with Daniel?
I don't know.
Are we overthinking it?
No.
I don't know.
I don't think we're overthinking.
I can't put it together. I can't.
I think he's going to go batshit crazy. I think it's going to happen.
I wonder whether...
I think something's going to go wrong. Fisk is going to try and take it away from him.
Yeah.
And then he's going to go, but look what I did for you. And I think he's just going to... Something's going to switch and he's going to go psycho.
Yeah, I do. I think he could as well, yeah. But I also wonder, because we're talking about... It's like, I've said Vanessa could end up being the not the martyr, but, getting thrown under the bus.
Yeah.
I wonder whether he could end up getting thrown under the bus either as well or instead of, and he's just using him as a scapegoat. Yeah. Saw another theory online. I don't know whether we talked about it on Podfans last week, actually. We were talking about Daniel potentially being Muse a couple of weeks ago, when we've now found out it was that Bastien guy.
Yeah.
What if it was Daniel and Bastien's a copycat?
Yeah.
Seen a couple of theories online.
Yeah.
I just think there's more to it. Maybe not that, but I'm just there's more. There's got to be
more to it.
Something to it. But I'm just not 100% sure.
He's getting a full build-up from being just a fan who then managed to get a position,
I know,
lowly, like an internee type of role.
It's weird storytelling.
Yeah.
If they don't go down that route.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, it's just a weird setup. It's a weird way of doing it.
He's getting too much of a backstory for there not to be an important pivotal moment for him.
Exactly. Yeah. That's the thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
Matt, and we go back to Matt and Kirsten. So there's this whole thing, and again, it kind of built up this character, but I don't think it was really essential. It was just like the premise of it. So Matt goes and meets, was it a teacher? Or a guy defrauding teachers? And he was dead cocky, and he had his feet up on the desk.
Yeah.
And he was basically, he was just like, oh yeah, I'll just lie, sort of thing. And Matt
Yeah.
listens in and you can hear
The fast heartbeat.
yeah, you can hear the heartbeat.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
he basically is just trying to get him to. I think the guy who's defrauding the teachers thinks he's kind of like testing him as to how well he'll do on the stand.
Yeah.
But Matt's not. Matt's basically ribbing him and just being like, I don't believe you. They're not going to believe you. He
Yeah.
knows he's not telling the truth anyway.
Yeah.
And he's just flat out refusing to basically represent him.
Yeah.
It's not what they wanted to go and do.
No.
And I think this is kind of, I know the whole series has been things pushing Matt into going back to Daredevil or kind of unleashing Daredevil. But I think this was another thing that's pushing him over the line.
He's just losing all patience, isn't he?
And he says, we're not serving justice here. We're babysitting chaos.
Yeah.
That's what he says to Kirsten. And it's like, no matter what he's doing, everything he's trying to do correct and by the letter of the law is just a huge waste of time. It's like he says, he's babysitting things. He's not getting anywhere. He brings up Hector. He brings up the dude who was robbing the candy corn from the shop. Yeah. Hector's been murdered by cops. The dude from the shops ended up going away and doing time. Yeah. And it's all those little things, and it's making you realize now, like, because we asked, didn't we, what was the whole point of the story with the guy who was robbing the candy corn? And it's just more ammo.
Yeah.
And no matter what he does, no matter how much he's trying to stick to the letter of the law, it's not making any difference. No, exactly. And the only thing all season that's made a difference is him suiting up as Daredevil.
Yeah.
And going and killing Muse, basically.
Yeah.
It's the only thing that's made a difference. So it's pushing him back into it.
Yeah.
He's done, he's fed up, so he goes to Josie's. And this is where we get a lot of things. My head went straight to Foggy's not dead.
Yeah.
Did you? Did yours? So he goes to Josie's. Cherry's there as well, isn't he? Or Cherry rolls up after a couple of minutes anyway.
Yeah.
And to cut a long story short, Josie goes and gets this bottle out. Is it O'Melvenies?
Yes.
Which is like the special reserve Irish whiskey.
Special occasion.
Yeah. That Foggy would only drink when he was to celebrate.
Yes.
When he's won a case, basically. Yeah. And Matt didn't know, but he finds out here that Foggy was drinking the Melvinies because he was just 100% certain the Dunbenny case, he was going to win it.
Yeah.
So he was that confident. And that's when Matt starts questioning Cherry and saying he must have been murdered by Fisk. He must have been, Bullseye must have been hired by Wilson Fisk. And Cherry's saying, no, I've checked it out. We've checked out absolutely everything, every way he could have hidden it and all that sort of stuff. And it just 100% was not Wilson Fisk. Because it wasn't Wilson Fisk.
No.
Which we find out later on.
Yeah.
So then he goes to the prison to basically question Dex.
Yeah.
This was like a very quick, not as good Dark Knight, but getting
yeah. That's exactly what I thought of, to be fair.
It was getting there. So he's basically just proper abusive. Oh, going back, he didn't use his stick to walk out the bar.
Yeah.
And Josie was like, hang on, what's happened now? And Cherry's like, no, didn't see it. So he goes, and he's not a blind dude. He's just a dude interrogating Dex. He's basically just having it out, saying, look, you need to tell me who did it, who hired you. Dex says to him, which comes back at the end, if you're a good man, you'd be defending your worst enemy or something along those lines, which obviously comes back in at the end. And it all sort of wraps up with Matt just grabbing Dex by the head.
Just
smashing his face into the table multiple times.
Yeah.
To which Dex says, thanks.
Yeah.
Because he's knocked his tooth loose.
Yeah.
Which was the aim of the game. I loved that how Matt was just like, God, he's smashing his head against the table.
Yeah.
And because he's blind, it's like, I must have doing it. Is the sort of thing this absolute nutcase would do. But it's just giving him everything he wants.
Yeah.
But again, and I think this is where Matt needs to find that balance, though, because that was not clever, not structured Matt at all. It was just Daredevil completely let loose on this dude.
Yeah.
Not completely, because you probably would have killed him.
Yeah.
But almost completely let loose on the dude. To the point where at the end, as Dex is dragged out, Matt just says, fuck you, as he goes out the room. It's like he's lost it now.
Yeah.
He's just lost control completely. We'll come back to that, though, in the prison, because that comes back up in a sec. So we cut to the black and white ball.
Yeah.
The big inaugural.
It was such a good scene. So many things happened in this scene. It was brilliant.
Some very subtle things.
Yeah.
And again, I don't think it was a continuity thing. It was just there was so much going on.
Yeah.
And maybe they weren't given enough sort of time on screen in previous episodes. So we'll go through it.
But I liked it because I feel like it was fast paced, but I feel like we've had, when a detective has the board and they have all the strings, I feel like this is the point where all the strings cross each other. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%.
So because, and I'll blast it dead quick and then we can go into more detail.
No, go on.
But you had the whole relationship thing between Matt and I keep going to say Angela, and I don't know why.
I've said Angela a couple times. I don't think there's an Angela in this.
No, I don't think there is. So you've got her kind of kicking off on him. You're not listening to me, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
You've got him listening to the conversations with Fisk and Swordsman.
Yeah, Jack.
Behind the closed door. Yeah. You've then got the commissioner going back. Oh my
God, yeah.
You've got him going back and finding out that they're dipping his hand in the deep fat fryer and saying, this is so assault and all that kind of stuff. And him basically just being laid out as, you are useless here. No one's listening to you anymore.
Yeah.
Then you've got him going to what's her name? BB.
Yeah.
And basically saying, I will give you all of the inside info. Yeah. You've got Fisk and Vanessa having their conversation.
Mm-hmm.
Then you've got the dancer, like literally everything. Then you've got Bullseye. I know. And I was just like, oh my God, like it's all coming.
This is where the stress hit.
This point. Yeah.
It was just so much.
And I was just loving the fact that they were all just starting to hit at this point.
Yeah.
And I was like, to me, this is the payoff.
Yes.
This is what we've been waiting for at all this point. And those stresses that have been coming in, drip feeding through the last few episodes, and then all coming to a point in this scene, I was like, this is brilliant.
It felt like a finale without the finale.
Yeah.
And in a way, it felt anticlimactic.
Yeah.
But only because we've got a whole other episode to go, which is going to wrap it up. But it felt like it ended 15 minutes before the episode should have ended. Yeah. If that makes sense. But now it's good because we've got a whole other hour episode now to wrap it up.
I actually thought they were going to double it up, to be fair.
This would have been a good way to. Although, to be fair, it's not because we've got us talking. We're all sitting there and we're desperate for next week.
Everyone's desperate for the last one.
But there was just, like you said, we'll break it down.
Yeah.
There's so much going on.
There was so
This
much
is what
going
made me feel stressed.
Yeah.
Especially when we're trying to watch something and trying to remember it and make quick notes.
Yeah.
I got about 2 minutes into this and I was like, no, done. I'll figure this out later. I'll figure it out later. And we did, kind of. We probably missed stuff. So we start off with Sheila and Daniel.
Yeah.
And Sheila's basically saying to Daniel, I didn't mean anything. I wasn't being arsey sort of thing.
Yeah.
I think you...
Just think you're not ready.
Yeah. This is great. You have this job.
Yeah.
I just think you're so new to it. You're too early.
Yeah.
His ego's now gone.
Yeah.
And he basically says to her, a couple of weeks ago, it would have bothered me that you didn't believe in me. Now, I don't give a shit, basically.
Yeah.
I'm Deputy Mayor for Communications. See you later. That's pretty much pretty much what happens. He's not bothered. He's where he wants to be for now. I'm sure he wants to be even higher than that, but he's got what he wants. And then he goes basically off to speak to BB.
Yeah.
BB's basically saying we're not in a good place yet.
Yeah.
After what you did, after the threat, basically.
Yeah.
And he's trying to kind of like smooth it over. Shots, let's do shots, let's get champagne and all that sort of stuff. And he's trying to smooth it over from there. Yeah. We then see Jack from Hawkeye, Swordsman, talking to that blonde lady who was one of the people who was given. She seems petrified.
Yeah,
very stressed. Doesn't she say something along the lines of "I had to come so I don't offend him"?
Yeah.
Where's the husband?
Yeah,
husband's probably at the bottom of the river somewhere,
next door to Adam.
Possibly, yeah. Something is 100% going on there.
Yeah,
and again, that is just showing it's. He's just fully leaned back into Fisk. He's not got his own way being the mayor and doing it nicely.
Yeah.
Like we said about Matt, he's tried to do things by the book. It's not got anywhere. It's a waste of time. So he's got to kick back into that kingpin gear. We see Heather trying to phone Matt, to text Matt saying, where are you? Why aren't you coming? He's not answering the phone. We then go back to the prison. The prison's in it as well at this stage.
Yes, it is, yeah.
And this is the bit we'd seen this. We'd seen pictures of this. We'd seen little clips of this.
So good, though.
Yeah. As soon as Matt smashed his head on the table, I was like, I know where this is going now.
I didn't remember, so I was
okay.
okay.
I knew it was going.
Yeah.
So, Dex is being treated for his injuries. He's got a cut on his head and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
Turns out he's had his head smashed on the table by Matt. It's knocked one of his teeth loose. The guard, the way he looks at him, he just kind of like opens his mouth like that with the tooth between his teeth and just basically fires it at this dude.
Yeah.
I assume it was his eye.
Oh, yeah, it was 100% his
just
eye.
basically blinds him instantly.
Yeah.
Gets the scissors, gets up, breaks him in half. One, two.
Done.
Doctor and the guard just completely gone.
Bish, bash, bosh.
Mega.
Yeah.
And then the fade to blue.
Yeah.
The whole scene went blue at that stage.
Yeah.
So clever. Excellent cinematography. It reminded me of, so I think there's a scene in the comics where he does that, where he takes his tooth out and escapes that way. But it also reminded me of the post-credits of the 2003, where he gets, does he get a paperclip, Colin Farrell?
Yeah.
And spits it at a fly or something like that.
Yeah.
And I know it's not a guard, it's a fly, and I know it was a paperclip and not a tooth.
Yeah.
But it was the same thing. He's in hospital.
Same vibe.
He can't use his arms, he can't use anything. He's literally just got something in his mouth that he manages to flick, and that's it. Except he didn't say, wasn't there some stupid line at the end that Colin Farrell said?
Probably.
Like Bullseye's back baby or something.
Yeah.
They missed a trick. They should have had him say Bullseye's back, baby. Forget the blue, just Bullseye's back. Anyway, going back to the ball, there's more. So Matt gets to the ball. He goes straight for Fisk.
Yeah.
Bumps into Heather first.
Yeah.
So she basically stops him getting there. He basically tells her that I've been to visit Poindexter.
Yeah.
She's like
fuming.
Not a good.
Why would you do that?
Why would you do it? Sort of thing. He apologizes for being
distant.
Yeah, apologizes for being distant, being a bit moody, hiding things from her, coming across that way. She starts basically giving him a telling off, kind of like a okay, we'll be all right, but sort of thing.
And then he does.
And then he zones out.
Apologise for, which is pretty
zones out. But it's important stuff. He zones in on Jack and Fisk.
Yeah,
having a conversation.
I love the way to do that. By the way.
Yeah.
Like when it just kind of goes off.
I know it was late. Was it later on when they went up and down, wasn't it?
Yeah.
But yeah, so he goes off like mentally to that conversation.
Yeah.
So Fisk is slating Jack a little bit for not believing in him.
Yeah.
Sort of thing. And being a bit, doesn't he say like you were quite rude to me or something like that when I asked you for help, and I asked you for money? And Jack's kind of like, okay, this guy's serious now. And I think Fisk thinks he's winning the conversation. Yeah. And then he's like, so when can I expect your donation? And Jack's still like, no. Yeah, I'm not giving you anything. And then he threatens him and says, basically, there's rumors that you're a swordsman and you're a vigilante. You wouldn't want that getting out.
Yeah.
And Jack is still cool as a cucumber. He's like, don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Don't know what you're talking about. And that's where it ends.
Yeah.
He doesn't seem to.
I actually, for a second, thought it was him getting dragged off by the policeman, around the side. But then it went to that other scene.
Yeah.
So I was like, was that? No, it wasn't. It was someone else. But it very, because of the way it followed through, it seemed that was
like
him being dragged out.
Yeah. So when he comes out, there's basically one of the waiters takes a photo of Fisk.
Yeah.
And Fisk's just like to Powell, get him. Just get him, basically. Yeah. So Powell, that's when Powell grabs him, drags him into the back.
Yeah.
And starts basically pressuring him, not torturing him, but like pins him up against the wall and all that sort of stuff. Goes to put his hand in the deep fat fryer.
Yeah.
The commissioner comes in and is like, what are you doing? You can't do that. I'll charge you with assault if you touch him again. And he's like, oh no, this isn't assault. And then he grabs his hand and puts it in the deep fat fryer.
And is like, this is assault.
This is assault. And basically, what are you going to do about it?
Yeah.
You're not the boss.
It's like you're just obsolete at this point.
But again, it goes back to like episode 2 or episode 3, when Fisk, again, trying to do things the right way, was kind of to a degree being held back by the commissioner. The commissioner was like, I'm not buying it. I'm not going to do as you're told. You might be the mayor, but didn't he say something like, I'm going to get rid of you?
Yeah.
Yeah, but you're not going to last the full term, basically. I'm going to do what I can. He threatened him with his daughter and his grandson or something like that. And now he's just gone over him to the point where it's like Fisk doesn't need to threaten this dude anymore. Yeah. He's not on the board. Yeah. He's not any sort of threat, no control or anything like that.
Yeah.
Basically, Fisk's now got his own police. And the guy doesn't matter at all. But maybe he does, because like what you said. So we got BB meeting with the commissioner. He's seems quite hesitant to speak to her at first because of obviously her putting across the article about Fisk's vigilantes, anti-vigilante. It's hard to say.
Anti-vigilantism.
I can't even do it. You do it.
Anti-vigilantism.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. Police task force. Those people with the Punisher things, even though they're not going to want them, because she's written quite a pro article against them.
Yeah.
And she basically says a lot of the bylines I write are even under my name. Yeah. So that might be what I'm doing to keep myself safe.
Yeah.
But I am 100% fighting against Fisk.
Yeah.
He says, the commissioner says to her, you might be interested to know that Wilson Fisk was prime suspect in your uncle's murder. And she's like, I already know this. Yeah. I know this. And he basically says to her, I've got files on all the anti-vigilante, there you go, did it, cops. And she wants to see him, basically. Yeah. And then she snaps out of it straight away and he's like, shots again. Yeah, and goes straight back over to Daniel Blake. She's very good. I
love that.
She's very good.
I think she'll be one to watch in season 2.
Oh, yeah. I think we've not seen much of her this series, but I think she's going to have a huge part to play. Or she's going to get murdered by Daniel in the next episode.
Oh, do you think?
It's one or the other.
Oh, I hope she doesn't.
Wouldn't surprise me, though, if that was like... We're talking about like him getting more in with Fisk. Is that going to be like the test? By Fisk to him? Is it going to be a case of you need to, if you're with me, you're with me. Yeah. And you need to prove you're with me. You need to get rid of her because she's a threat. Sort of thing. What else happened? Oh, Buck gets a. Oh no, sorry, we're going back. I'm going too far ahead. So Matt goes and tries to confront Fisk again.
Oh God. That was where my stress levels went too high.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my God. And then they were like.
So he goes to get him again. Yeah. We have talked about it, the fact that Fisk comes in with a full white.
Yeah.
Suit. Again, full on Kingpin. That's the first time we've seen him in a white suit.
It is the first time
isn't it? Yeah.
A white suit.
So Matt goes to get him.
Well, I wanted to also point out, by the way, in that. So he comes out in the white, and it's obviously the first time we've seen him in white. So that's kind of Kingpin. Yeah. But, and I know we've also already mentioned that she's obviously coming in wearing red in a black and white ball.
Yes.
But I just automatically went danger.
Yeah.
The colour red is danger.
Yeah.
It's lust. It's, everything that so far we've had from Vanessa. Yeah. She's cheated. She's powerfully dangerous. Mm-hmm. Like all of that kind of stuff. So I really like the fact that it was so pointed on the colour aspect, which I think really they've been doing all the way through the season. Yeah. Like using the cinematography and the colours to really push.
Back to all the blue when Bullseye's about,
It's been so impressive, I think. And I don't think there's one detail with the colour that is just for the sake of it.
No, I know what you mean.
Completely thought
out. I feel like everything in the whole series has just been really, really well thought out. And again, considering that this was kind of, to a degree, rushed because they had to redo the whole thing. Yeah. It's dead impressive.
It is really impressive.
Dead impressive all the way through. So Matt tries to get to Fisk. Yeah. Vanessa gets to Fisk first. And that's when they have their first dance. Well, the first dance is at the ball anyway.
Yeah.
And then Matt basically tells Heather, you're in danger. That's when he's like fully put 2 and 2 together here, and it's like you're involved with the Fisks here. You need to get out of it, basically. Yeah. And then they start dancing, and then Buck gets a phone call from the cop at the prison to say Bullseye's escaped. And then we see that he's already there, and he's broke in. We see him going up the elevator.
And you see the thing sticking out of the guy's neck. Did you see him?
No.
So as he's getting the rifle.
Yeah.
The guy that was obviously there with the rifle before him, is just slumped at the side.
No, I didn't see it.
Sticking out of his neck, and I was like, okay.
No, it was the thing. He got the like the big fork off the chip fryer. Yeah. No, I missed that. I remember him taking it, and I didn't put 2.
So it was sticking out of the guy's neck.
Yeah, I get what you mean. Yeah.
So I thought that was really good.
Yeah.
The conversation between Matt and Vanessa was so intense.
Yeah, but before we got to that, Buck goes over to them and says, Bullseye's out.
Yes.
And Fisk doesn't seem as bothered as Vanessa.
Yeah.
And that's when Matt gets onto the fact that she's the one who's bothered the fact that Bullseye's here rather than Fisk. I'm still not convinced Fisk didn't know and he's not just playing it super cool.
Yeah.
But Matt has basically put it together at that stage. Yeah. Which is what we said. Episode 2, I think it was, we said Vanessa was the one who sent
Yeah.
Bullseye to kill Foggy. We knew it. I think a lot of people knew it, to be fair,
Yeah.
but we said, didn't we? So he then cuts in the dance, Matt,
Yeah.
and grabs Vanessa.
Yeah.
And does he just say to her, admit? You need to admit what you've done, basically. Admit to me that you hired Bullseye.
Yeah, I think so.
Or that you had Foggy. Yeah, and
Yeah,
you need to admit that that I know that you hired Bullseye to kill Foggy. And then she is just not backing down. She's basically just like, yeah, well, I know you're Daredevil.
Yeah.
Pretty much in a nutshell.
Yeah.
I know who you are. And then meanwhile, while they're having their little thing, Matt's dancing with Heather. No, not Matt.
No.
Daredevil. Freaking
Wilson.
There's so much going
Fisk.
on. I'm so confused. Fisk is dancing with Heather.
Yeah.
And he's basically now trying to turn Heather against Matt.
Yeah.
And trying to kind of go, oh, it's a bit weird, isn't he?
Also, they danced weird. Did you notice?
Yeah, it was a bit weird. It was more like a cuddle rather than a dance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was so
But I think it was supposed to come across that way because it was like he was sheltering her. He was comforting her. And she was like, sort of like leaning into him as if like she sees him as a bit of a comfort blanket. Yeah. And she's that trusting in him. And he's kind of going, have you noticed he's got Daredevil pajamas in his cupboard, basically, sort of thing. he might not be the man that you think he is. And then what happened so much? Oh, so that's when Matt's senses kick in.
Yeah.
So we go from normal widescreen to full IMAX as he's listening to the gun getting loaded, and then we start to zoom in basically to Bullseye climbing up the rafters and loading the gun basically to take his shot.
Yeah.
I thought I couldn't piece together who exactly he was going to shoot.
I couldn't.
At first,
I couldn't
I thought,
for a second think who it was going to be out of the four of them.
See, I didn't at any point think it was going to be Matt. I thought Vanessa, he's 100% going for Vanessa. Then I thought maybe he's going to go for Fisk. Then I kind of thought Heather.
Yeah.
To have a go at Matt sort of thing.
Yeah.
Because I'm sure he could have pieced together or found out from somewhere that basically she's with him now. But it turns out he goes for Wilson Fisk.
Yeah.
And Matt dives in front of it.
Yeah.
Why?
I don't know.
I know it went back to the Bullseye conversation. A good man would step in front, would basically dive into
I'm
protect his worst
wondering
enemy.
whether.
But why did he do it?
Because I'm wondering whether his realization that Vanessa was the one that ordered Foggy to be killed.
Yeah.
I'm wondering whether he's going, I've based all of my current opinions of Wilson on that moment.
Yeah.
And now I know he's got nothing to do with it. So is he actually trying to clean up the street? This is the route I went down.
Yeah.
It's a very quick like thought in that moment, like.
Yeah.
But I'm just wondering, has he gone? You know, that's not.
Or does he think Fisk hired him?
I don't know.
He might think Fisk was the one who hired him. Because we know, right, so I'm going back, like episodes back, but Buck's obviously working for Vanessa.
Yeah.
As well as Fisk.
Yeah.
Because when she tried to give Luca that 1.8 mil or something like that, it was Buck who went and did it under the orders of Vanessa.
Yeah.
So is Buck the one, and Buck's the guy who's speaking to the prison guards.
Yeah.
So Buck's gone and told the prison guards, take Dex out of segregation and put him in Gen Pop.
Okay.
He works for the mayor.
Yeah.
So are they just looking and thinking that's where the orders come from? But it was actually the order from Vanessa through Buck. Do you get what I'm saying?
I get what you're saying.
So Bullseye thinks that the orders come from... So the order to
kill Foggy... Okay, sorry. I thought you were still talking about Matt. I was talking about Matt. I think Matt jumped in front of Fisk.
Sorry.
I think Matt jumped in front
Have I gone off on one?
It's
sorry.
Okay. I think Matt jumped in front of Fisk because he's gone, oh my God, Vanessa's been...
I get what you mean.
And actually, Fisk seems to be... Because the way Matt's thinking is, I've based all this off Fisk killing Foggy, and now I've realised it was Vanessa that did it, not him.
I get you.
So he's not the one that I should be after.
And
I think he's dived in front of him to protect him in that last moment.
Because he's realised that Fisk's not necessarily the bad guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, I get you.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I think that
I
think that might be why he's done that. I realised that you were talking about Bullseye.
I've just jumped ahead of question.
Sorry.
I was going into I did ask you why didn't Matt jump ahead and then started another question. Okay, yeah, no, that makes sense though.
Yeah.
He's jumped in front of him possibly because he realizes. I still don't think he thinks he's a nice guy, but
No.
it's just the right thing. Was it just Daredevil instinct to jump
Maybe.
in front, or was it also a bit of a
Or
you're not dying and getting away with this? I'm having you.
Or don't forget, Heather was the other side of Fisk. So was he jumping to protect Heather?
Potentially, yeah, maybe we'll
Yeah.
find out. The other question, and not that I've already covered this, why did why did Bullseye? I can't even remember this conversation. What day is it? Why did Bullseye shoot? That's where I was going. Why did Bullseye go for Fisk and not Vanessa?
So I agree with you. I
Yeah.
think that he thinks
Fisk's the
ordered
one
it.
who hired
Yeah,
him.
not-
Yeah, we
yeah.
got there in the end. Kind of. It was like the Daredevil episode. We jumped between multiple questions at the same time. Yeah, that must be
Yeah, I think that's what he
that
did.
must be it. Is Matt dead?
No.
No. That's it. Well done. We're done. See you later. No. So where are we going now? We're not right. We've said for a while, all season basically, that we're going to be leading to some sort of big vigilante team.
I don't think it's going to happen.
I think we're going to get a vigilante team up. I
Yeah.
just don't think we're going to get the vigilante team up that we've been talking about with like the defenders and stuff like that. I'm assuming Frank's going to be back. He's got to make an appearance in this series. I could kind of see Jack there as well. A swordsman.
Yeah.
If this is going to be Daredevil and Punisher.
And I think this is where we'll first get White Tiger's niece as White Tiger, if that's going to happen.
Yeah, maybe, yeah. It's a lot to cram into one more episode though, isn't it? But then how much got crammed into this episode?
But you say it crammed into the episode. I don't even think it needs any reasoning behind it.
She just needs to
I think
show up.
something big could happen, and I think they're all just going to show up in that moment.
Yeah.
And you just go bang, bang, and you're like, oh,
And they're just
they're
there
here.
because they're very early on in the episode, the anti-vigilantes, they're just kicking off.
I've had another thought,
What?
We've been kind of thinking, is Vanessa going to die at the end of this season?
Yeah.
What if Daniel kills her?
Why?
Because of the fact that I think you've been saying Fisk is manipulating Vanessa. I still think that Vanessa's trying to manipulate Fisk as well.
I think Vanessa's trying to manipulate Fisk.
Yeah.
100%.
I think she's trying to
Fisk's
manipulate.
doing a better job.
Yeah. I think she's trying to manipulate him on a business front, and I think he's manipulating her on the relationship front. That's the way I think it's working at the moment.
Yeah.
I think Daniel's going to have seen it.
Right.
And I think he's going to jump the gun. He's basically said, I would do anything for you.
Yeah.
And
I'd go through fire for you and all that sort of stuff.
I'm wondering if he's going to see Vanessa as a threat at some point, and he might kill her.
Okay.
That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
But I think
then would he
Fisk,
throw her under the bus as like, my wife has been murdered, she was the kingpin?
Yeah, but I also think Fisk is going to be mortified that Daniel's done that. And
will he know Daniel's done that? Or will he think it was Matt? Is Daniel going to be that damn good?
I don't know. This is the thing.
Yeah.
But I think
So
it'd be
much
brilliant if it was Daniel that killed Vanessa.
Yeah, I think it'd be a good shout, that, to be
Yeah. Because we've
a
said
series here as well, haven't
because
we?
we've said that there's got to be something happening, so there's got to be some kind of pivotal point for him now.
Yeah,
because they've built up this backstory.
Yeah,
and they really seem to have laid on thick the almost obsession that he's.
He is
Fisk.
100%.
It's not just he admires him; he's obsessed with
There's
him.
got to be something more than this, though. He can't just be some like random fan who's. No. There's got to be something.
I'm wondering whether he'll kill her, and then Fisk will walk in and he just turns around and goes, "I tried to save her," and then just throw out a Daredevil was here.
Yeah, because this is why I love it, because there's so many things. Yeah. We've got no idea where this is 100% going.
Yeah,
at the end of the day, we've got ideas, but it's just it could go anyway.
Yeah,
at the end of the day. Great.
It's so good.
Such a good episode. Such a good series so far.
There was so much blood around Daredevil, by the way, so I do think I don't think this is going to be a quick fix.
No, he's been shot in the shoulder.
Right next to his heart, to be fair. We'll get the whole conversation of it missed his heart narrowly by
exactly. But is he
half
still
a millimeter?
Is he going to be up and fighting anti-vigilante police force, task forces?
Thing, innit? That's the thing that I've gone, hang on a second.
It's a comic book series, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
I suppose you've got to... There's a dude who puts an amulet on and gets tiger powers or whatever. So you've got to give it a little bit of leeway. But do you know what? Super tense.
10 out of 10 for that one, though.
I agree.
Loved it.
Absolutely mega episode. Very stressful.
Yeah.
Couldn't keep up with it, but I love your analogy of it was like all the lines.
Yeah.
Finally all coming together and just
Yeah.
going, right, it's starting to, it's not like we've figured it out yet.
No.
It's like, this is the bit where we put everything on the board.
Yeah.
Next episode, we're going to figure it all out where it's going. No, so good. Should we see what listeners think? Should we do Pod Fans Assemble?
Yes.
Mega.
Okay, so we obviously asked you guys what you thought of this week's episode.
Yeah.
We had 0% hate.
I mean, that doesn't surprise me.
It doesn't surprise me either.
I have seen some negative comments on Twitter
Have
and
you?
stuff. Yeah. People saying they don't like it.
I got 11% saying it was okay,
Okay.
but that means we got 89% that loved it.
Yeah. That's solid.
Yeah.
I think that's where it should be. I'm not 100% sure it's my favourite episode of the season. I think
it's my favourite episode.
I think it's up there.
I love intensity though. Like I love that build up and the almost to a degree where you go, I can't watch. Like
no, I know
so mean. Tense, I can't watch it.
I still really like the episode where he was defending Hector in the court and like they were trying to get the
I love a court procedural anyway.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just thought it was.
Yeah. This was great though.
This
was
up
there.
Yeah.
Joint first probably.
So Kenneth said, what an incredible, tense, beautifully acted and written episode of Daredevil, and what a point to leave it at. This show is fire. Bring on the final episode of the season.
Yeah. Oh, I can't believe there's only one more. I'm kind of sad at the fact there's only one.
When's the last time you felt sad that we were about to end a season of a Marvel TV show? I'd say WandaVision was the last time.
Maybe Loki season 1. I enjoyed season 2.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, possibly. I mean, WandaVision was more probably just as stressful as this, to be fair, because we didn't know how Marvel did TV at the time.
Yeah.
But it's
been a while. Is all. I'm thinking.
100%.
Real long time. Mark Walker said, honestly, this series has got better as it's gone along. 100%.
Yeah, definitely.
I was worried about it to start, but it's exceeded my expectations. Can't wait for part 2.
Yeah. When is part 2 out?
Don't know.
I think it's next year.
Would they really make us wait that long?
Yeah.
They're horrible buggers.
Yeah. I don't think they're going to be any more Daredevil this year. It's going to be 2026. Yeah, 2026.
That's upsetting.
Yeah.
2026.
Sorry, you got Ironheart to keep
Where's life going?
You got Ironheart to keep you. Don't get into that. It's too. No. Don't start me, Antony.
Yeah, I'm not fussed on Ironheart. I've got to be honest.
No, but you know what? The fact that this is as good as it is, I've got more hope for Ironheart, if I'm honest.
Maybe. Geeky Nate said, great episode, giving a real nice showing of Bullseye's ability to turn anything into a weapon. Yeah, very much. This is where I would have ended the season. I'm very curious as to what episode 9 has given us to make episode 8 not the season finale.
Like we said, this felt like the finale. It felt like 15 minutes short of a finale.
Yeah.
But I think we've just got to appreciate the fact that we've now got an hour-long last 15 minutes.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. Sleepy Dad said, only halfway through at the moment, but it's good so far. Pictured you two doing that Leo DiCaprio pointing meme at the point, which I won't say, but I know you know what I mean.
We couldn't figure it out, but we assume it's the white suit.
Yeah.
The white suit on Fisk.
That's what I'm guessing.
Yeah. I was, to be fair. I was like, white suit? And he's put weight on as well?
Yeah.
I
wonder whether he's actually put weight on or whether they've just given him a bit of a fat suit.
Or have they just written in because Vincent D'Onofrio lost a ton of weight for the first shoot and then put it all back on for the second shoot. And it's like, we've got to make him fat again. Yeah. Right into the story.
Let's give him 4 sausages on a massive plate of No, that's what he was eating when he first sat down. Do you not remember?
No.
Because I thought, Jesus Christ, 4 sausages.
Was that what it was? Yeah. I thought it was like meatballs and pasta.
No, it was that was the second time he sat down to eat.
Oh, okay.
When Adam was shouting at him. The first time, when he first descended down the stairs. He went and sat down. They lifted the dish, and it was a huge
bangers and mash.
Yeah, it was bangers and mash with gravy and all that kind of stuff.
Again,
but there were 4 sausages along there.
It's the subtlety.
Yeah,
the fact that for the first couple of episodes, he was eating 1 piece of asparagus and a poached egg. And now he's on a fry up and a Knickerbocker Glory at the end. Do you know what I mean? It's like just gone full on fat kingpin. It's the first thing that came to my head. All our US listeners are like, "What's a Knickerbocker Glory?" Google it. Just Google it.
So,
really, what a Knickerbocker Glory now?
Movies for Real said, Love the new episode. Can definitely tell the new team are the ones leading this episode.
Yeah.
Very cohesive and nice how they plot, how every plot element's connected together, which is what I was really feeling.
Exactly, yeah.
Felt like a season finale. That's how good episode is. Plus the reveal that Vanessa was behind it is wild.
Yes,
Fisk will
massive.
be angry.
Yeah.
We also...
Does he already know, though? That's the question, isn't it?
No. We also got from Ross Kiernan. I thought the episode really ramped up the tension. It was very cohesive. Another cohesive, loving that.
Like it.
With sharp writing, and I did not see the reveal coming at all, but I suspect on a rewatch there'll be clues to it that I've missed. Overall, great episode.
Okay. So not everybody was onto the fact.
No.
To be fair.
I don't think I was, fully.
What, that Vanessa was the one who ordered
The
the
thing
hit?
is, we do that many theories.
We do that many stupid random theories.
I'm kind of like, is it though?
What was the theory I sent you the other day about Reed Richards?
Oh, I can't even
remember. So for Fantastic Four, my thing was that he's not got powers, and he's going to end up going evil, and he's going to change his face to Robert Downey Jr. and he's going to.
Oh yeah.
You wait until it happens. Honestly, wait until it happens. Is that us?
That was everyone. Yeah.
Thanks very much, guys. Thanks for getting involved. Before we wrap up, should we do Hall of Heroes? We haven't done a proper Patreon yet. I've got my list. Wait there, I've got my list. So thanks to Kenneth, Jessie, Geeky Nate, Richard, Avid Gamer, Michael, and Sheldon for supporting the show. If you want to be featured in Hall of Heroes and get access to bonus episodes, head over to patreon.com/heroes and hype, or you can hit the link in the description. Other than that, thanks for listening. Don't forget to come back next week for the final episode of Daredevil, episode 9.
Final episode.
And we've got a double bill next week. We are also covering The Last of Us Season 2.
Oh my God.
Premiere.
So excited.
That's like a couple of days before as well. It's going to be a manic week next week.
Cannot wait.
If you've enjoyed the show, don't forget to like and subscribe. And if you're listening on Apple or Spotify, leave us a rating and a review as well.
Don't forget as well to follow us on all socials too, at Heroes and Hype for all the latest updates on the show and calls to action for next week's Pod Fans Assemble.
Other than that though, guys, thanks for listening. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next week.
Cheers, guys. Thanks.
See you later.
Bye-bye.